Mystery Machine drives through the desert. The gang is starving, with no food or water in sight. A thick pea soup fog rolls over them. What could be hiding in it? We'll see. Welcome to Mysteries in the Machine.
I'm Charlie.
And I'm Ethan.
And welcome to the Spooky Fog of Juneberry. We're in it. We're in it
We
to
are.
win it. Oh, I can't see anything. It's almost like Velma's lost her glasses for the entire episode.
No, when Velma loses her glasses, she also loses brain cells. I don't know if people necessarily lost brain cells during the episode.
I don't know, but there's a lot of shenaniganery going on in this episode, so...
It's a Don Knotts episode. There's going to be shenaniganery.
This is true enough, as you know, from previous Don Knotts episode.
Yes.
Currently still the holder of the shenanigan prize.
We'll see how that shakes out after we're done here, but...
Yeah. Who knows? Could beat it. We shall see.
That could definitely happen.
I mean, this is our first returning guy, so we don't have to talk about the celebrity guest of the week.
Yeah.
We could just be like, hey, it's Don Knotts once again, but this time he's a cop for some reason.
Yeah, there's no reason given. There's no... Well, okay, I know the reference. Do we want to get into that?
I'm sure we'll get into it for the trivia, but, like, this whole episode is basically a reference to, like, a part he had.
Yes. And that actually, there's a riff on the part that he had with the name of the sheriff in town, but we'll get to that.
I don't know that either. Okay.
Yeah.
I just knew, like, the name of the town is, like, a riff on it, too.
Yes, it is. But, as I said, we're starting off, the gang's hungry, and they're like, well, at least we have some watermelon. Well, we had some watermelon.
No more watermelon. It's all gone. Scooby and Shaggy are thieves, as they do.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, and it's like we're once again like kind of lost. It's not your usual lost, but it's still fairly lost to me.
They're in the middle of the desert, Charlie. How much more lost can you be?
I don't know. Sometimes they have like a place that they're trying to get to.
That is not the case here.
I feel like right now they're just traveling as they do, but they're like, oh, we're hungry. But there's no food in sight, and we also don't know where the next town is.
No, we don't. But we roll up to the sign that says, welcome to Juneberry, with the population consistently going down.
This is not going to be the last time that we see a sign like this in this series.
Sure. Oh, lovely.
Like, I can recall at least one other episode where this also happens. But it gets even worse, because this still has them in the thousands.
It goes down into the hundreds? Tens? Single digits?
I think it goes down at least to the tens.
Okay. Have you ever been to a town with less than 100 people, Charlie?
No, I don't think I have.
I have.
Well, yeah, you are from,
the middle of nowhere in terms of, like...
The middle of the Midwest, the middle of the nothingness. Farm country.
I mean, I'm not in, like, proper farm country. I'm in, like, I'm in a suburb. Like, I'm not...
Yeah, you're in Kansas.
That's true. But the town that I'm thinking of was right next to my my Boy Scout camp. Growing up. It had a population of 12 people.
Jesus Christ.
Yep. and most of them, well, at least a good chunk of them worked at this little general store, and like basically all their money for the entire year came between the months of June and August, when all the Boy Scouts would come in and buy shit.
I feel like that's just not a town. I think that's just a plot of land.
They had a cemetery and a church and some houses and the general store.
Good to know that people die there. They just don't live there.
Well, some people live there. Most of the people are dead.
I think that's a plot for something.
Oh, I guarantee it is. I couldn't name what it is, but I guarantee it's something.
Yeah, that just sounds like a good, basic plot for a TV show.
Yeah, it's like, what's a good TV show that would use that? Like the first thing that comes to mind is Dexter, but I don't think that's his game. No, Supernatural. Supernatural would have an episode that takes place in a town that big.
Here we go. It's Supernatural. We're entering Scooby Natural already.
Fun fact, the Winchester twins are canonically from Lawrence, Kansas.
Of course they are.
Mm-hmm. Which is actually a college town, believe it or not.
Okay.
So it's not as small as some of the other towns around there. Yeah, that's where the University of Kansas is. I have friends that went there. I did not go there.
Nah, Ethan's too cool for that.
Apparently.
Obviously.
Anyway, tangents aside.
Well, the gang is going to this clearly super friendly town, as Fred calls it, Juneberry. And then immediately, this is when we get the fog. Like, there you go. Title. We did the title already. We say, how many times did they say the title in this episode? Needs to be a drinking game, I think.
It's gotta be at least like 24 times.
Like, if they say Spooky Fog together, you need to drink every time. So,
Max is where I watch this, and it leaves off the of Juneberry. It's just the Spooky Fog.
Yeah, that's what I was also confused of. I was like, is this called the Spooky Fog, or is it called the Spooky Fog of Juneberry? I wasn't sure.
I don't know why they left that off.
I mean, it also called the Wednesday is Missing episode, Scooby-Doo Meets the Addams Family.
That's true.
Like, it does that with some of the episode titles.
Weird.
For some reason. So,
I don't know.
But this is the Spooky Fog. We're in it. It has some scary noises.
Mm-hmm.
The gang is, like, frightened right out the gate. We're all shaking, we're shivering, we're all hugging Fred. We're just like, get the fuck out of here, guys. Fred is like, I can barely see through the windshield, and he's still driving.
Yeah, Fred, why don't you just stop?
Not that they could see much when they walk in it later.
But yeah, but like, generally.
It's not safe.
Yeah, I would not want to drive if fog was that thick.
Exactly. So, it ain't great.
But they pass through the town, the noises go away, the fog goes away, and everything seems fine.
I love when Shaggy's just like, I just got unhungry, because he's like so scared of this situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, they're zooming on through, they're getting the heck out of Dodge, and suddenly there's still weird noises going on. What is it? It's a policeman.
Charlie.
Yeah.
Does ACAB include Don Knotts now?
I don't want it to. He doesn't even have bullets in his gun.
This specific Don Knotts, not Don Knotts in general.
I don't want it to include Don Knotts.
I don't think we have a choice.
I think he's okay in this episode. This is the one crime he has. Also, has this ever been done to you, where like a cop thinks that you're speeding?
No. All the times I have been pulled over, I was speeding. Well, I was either speeding, I had my headlights off when it was nighttime, or I rolled through a stop sign. That's it.
I mean, I've been pulled over when I was actually speeding, and then once when a cop was like, yeah, I think you were speeding, and he didn't have his thing on, just like this.
So this cop just pulled you over because he thought you were speeding and nothing else.
Yeah, like, didn't I had friends in the car too, and we're all just like, "What? What's going
Oh
on?"
God, that's embarrassing. At least when I've been pulled over,
Like
I was
I was
alone.
in fact in like a little speed trap kind of like spot, you know, where the cops just sit
Yeah,
there and wait for people to do that as they
right.
do. But it's like he couldn't tell me how fast I was going or anything. I'm just like, "Can I go?" Like, you have no cause for this.
Did he let you go?
Yeah.
Okay, good. It's like if he
Like,
gave you a ticket without proving what that was for, that's
yeah,
dumb.
exactly. He couldn't prove that I was speeding, so there was no point to the situation at all. And I was like, I can't even remember how fast I was going either. So,
No, I was doing like 78 and a 65, and that's how I got my speeding ticket. So definitely
yeah.
too fast. Anyway, Shaggy recognizes Don Knotts.
Yeah. I love his little like thing. He's got to have like a whole situation like getting off the bike, getting his gloves off, and he does this later in the episode too. It's just like it's so cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, Shaggy recognizes who he is. He whispers it to the others. He's like, I think that's Don Knotts. What do you think? Is that Don Knotts? No way. Yeah, it's Don Knotts, guys. Did you know that? Did you know he's in this episode? No
Wow.
way.
Crazy. And
Yeah,
then,
and he's also trying to tell Fred, I think you were speeding, but his gate just got switched, so he has no idea.
sir, they
Sir.
are labeled. Just because they're not in the same position does not mean they are not labeled. At least they are in my car. They're labeled what they are.
Yeah. So he can't, you know, give them any sort of like ticket. And
Mhm.
it's like, well, if that's what you want is to, you know, be let go, I guess so. And they're like, well, we really want is a place to eat and sleep. Like, there's no towns anywhere. He's like, Juneberry, the best town ever. My favorite. What?
Yeah, he's a little bit biased.
Bro, the spooky fog? What about the spooky fog? The fact that Dawn doesn't know about it really confuses me right
But
out the gate.
yeah, yeah, like he lives there. You'd think he would know, right?
I mean, either he's playing dumb or he's just like truly oblivious.
Yeah. Also, I know this is probably hyperbole. There is no way it's 1,000 miles to the next form of civilization.
Yeah, he's like, oh, it's 1,000 miles down the road, give or take a few hundred.
And I say I could see it being like 100 miles. That's happened to me before on road trips where there's just nothing for a long time.
Yeah, if there's really no civilization for 1,000 miles, I feel like you need to just go off road for a bit.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, just like
Uh,
sleep in the car for a little bit.
break open a
Rest.
cactus, drink some cactus juice.
It'll quench you.
It's the quenchiest.
Listeners, please do not drink cactus juice.
Why
It
not?
may not make you trip balls, but it will give you diarrhea.
Close
I
enough.
did not find this out firsthand. I have just read things.
So you say. So you say.
I've done a lot of stupid shit, Charlie, but I've never done that.
Alright, alright. We'll see. So we go back to Juneberry with Dawn. And of
Mhm.
course, right out the gate, we're we're seeing a family leaving this town, like all packed up, because it's a spooky town, and they want out. Goodbye.
Yeah, no reason not to. So we meet Don Knotts' boss, the
Yeah,
sheriff.
yeah, Sheriff Dandy Griffith. Griffith.
Charlie, do
Nope.
you know what this is a reference to? Because it is.
No.
So there used to be a TV show called The Andy Griffith Show,
Oh, okay.
where
I get
Andy
it.
Griffith was the main character. He was a sheriff in a small town. I forget what the name is. It's probably close to Juneberry. And then Don Knotts played the deputy. His character name was Barney Fife. But in this episode, he's just himself.
There you go. Sheriff Dandy, right there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Also, I love that he's got the cowboy hat, a white cowboy hat.
Doug Dimmadome right here.
No, he's nicer than Doug Dimmadome.
That's true. Doug Dimmadome's a terrible person.
Anyone is better than Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome. Yeah. So, Sheriff Dandy, he's a cool guy. He's like, yeah, there's more people leaving town. And then we see this other dude leaving town.
Yeah, like a rancher. They say his name.
Gene Haltry.
Which is another reference, actually.
Of course it is.
It's a reference to Gene Autry, who's a country singer.
Yeah, he's also got a cool car and like a cool suit and everything. He's got a look.
It's very like old money in Texas kind of deal.
Yeah, it's the vibe of the episode, honestly.
Yeah,
it's just this is the South. This is the Wild West.
Mm-hmm.
So where does the gang end up staying? Because, you know, Don is like, oh yeah, I've got like the greatest food, the greatest like accommodations right here for you. And where do they end up staying after we, you know, meet our other characters?
They stay in the fucking jail. The jail. Wow.
I feel like if this were a different show, he'd be secretly like, haha, I arrested you after all.
Yeah, but Don Knotts isn't about that life.
Exactly. No, instead, he's like, hey, here's some nice beds. You know, it does look like some fairly nice beds for a jail. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like a metal slab chained to the wall.
Exactly. They got pillows, they got blankets. Okay.
It's something.
And then the food.
I guess one of the people who lived there didn't have any cash, so he paid his parking ticket in bananas and custard.
Yeah. He paid with merchandise.
Which, like,
so
gross.
So Don is offering them banana custard delight for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Would you take that, or would you just starve?
I would take it because there's no other option. I just don't like bananas.
You know, that's fair. That's very fair.
Do you like bananas, Charlie? I feel like you're more likely to not like something than I do.
Okay. I like bananas at certain times. You know, has to be very specific. I do also associate the taste of bananas with like explosions in my lunchbox.
What?
I used to have yogurt that would like explode because the banana would like literally break it open.
Oh, okay.
So that's bad associations with like lunch at school. That was like, you know, I would eat it, but it would not taste the greatest. But
yeah.
But aside from that, I do like a ripe banana. It has to have some brown on it. Okay? If your banana is yellow or so green that it's blue, no. Abby likes the freaking green, so green that they're blue bananas, and I don't understand.
Like, no. Incorrect.
No, I need to have some softness. It needs to have like a few dots of brown on it.
I only like eating bananas in bread form most of the time.
That's fine. Banana bread's also good. I love me a chocolate chip banana bread.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so now the gang is full of banana custard delight, and they have congregated all of the beds into a little square with Scooby in the middle, and they're all sleeping.
And then Don apparently just sleeps at his desk, which makes me wonder, does this man, like, okay, are fictionalized Don Knotts in this universe, who is apparently now a cop, and maybe acts on the side or something? Unclear how his acting career also plays into all of this.
Yeah.
Does this man not have a home to go to or a bed to sleep in?
My thinking was that he's on shift and accidentally fell asleep.
Maybe?
I don't know.
My thinking is that he just sleeps at his desk because he's a workaholic.
I mean, did you ever think that teachers slept at school when you were younger?
That was the running rumor. Yeah, they sleep under their desks. You have a bed under there.
In this case, it's true. Because Don...
Yeah.
Yeah, but in this case, it's true. Because Don Knotts sleeps at his desk.
Absolutely. Alright, so Don is falling asleep, and then is a creepy shadow looming over him. We don't ever see what the fuck this is. Do we think this is the Skeleton Man?
That'd be my guess. I don't know what else it would be.
Because, like, we don't see who it is, but Don is like, his voice doesn't even work. Like, he opens his eyes and he sees, and he's like, and then the same thing happens when it goes over to Scooby. Scooby wakes up and he's like, ah. So, and then it throws a horseshoe around the jail door or whatever.
Yeah.
And that wakes everybody up. We're all terrified at this point.
Yeah.
Who wants to hurt the poor doggy? How dare they?
How dare?
But we have a warning message attached to the horseshoe saying, get out of town before it's too late.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when you hear the laughter.
God, they reused the space kook laughter for this.
Yes, they did. I love it, though. Like,
which, to be fair, it's an iconic laugh.
Yeah, they definitely reused that like a few times, I think, over the course of Scooby-Doo. This is just iconic.
Yeah. So we're all scared. We go to wake up Don. He's not moving.
He's in shock, man.
Yeah, I guess that Skeleton Man scared him real good.
Yeah. So they have to pour water on him to wake him up. He's like, "Oh, I'm fine. Whatever. I can totally do this." And he like tries to call out the guy like out the window, like, "Ha! I'll get you next time." And then laughter gone again. He this man. Talk about disadvantage against frightened.
Yeah. He has disadvantage against the frightened condition at all times.
Absolutely. Double disadvantage.
Yes.
So pour more water on him and he's fine. It's okay. We've figured it out. I'm trying to figure out what our shenanigan is in this scenario. Like,
I don't know. Because right now the only shenanigan I have is Don getting his gauges switched around.
Yeah, I think it might just be Don repeatedly
going in and out of shock.
Yeah. It's like, okay, dude, I think you need to go see somebody about that.
Yeah, I'm sure there are people with psychology degrees that would help you out a lot with that.
Yeah.
And apparently the police department ordered a helicopter. Cool.
Yes. He has one on order. He wants a...
Yeah, in a town with a police force of 2 people, they have a helicopter.
Yes, of course. And then I'm assuming the next part comes after like a commercial break or something, because for some reason now Dawn is like going back to sleep, and
that's what it appears to be.
Yeah, I think this is absolutely a shenanigan, because Scooby is just like sitting there. He's just like, "Oh look, I'm with my hero. Like, we're just chilling here." And then Dawn's like, "What? Huh? I'm awake. What? What are you doing? What's happening?"
Man, Scooby, like, he's in love with Sandy Duncan, and he's buddying up to Don Knotts. What is this dog doing?
I mean, he also wanted to be best buds with Batman and Robin too.
That's fair.
Just wait, it just gets better, okay?
Yeah.
Scooby becomes besties with all the celebrities.
So now we get more shenanigans. Because we're trying to see...
for sure.
We're trying to see who did it. And as far as we know, we've only met 2 people. Sheriff Dandy and Gene Haltry. And we don't know where Gene Haltry is. We know where the sheriff is. And we're going to see if we can make him laugh like the guy who threw the horseshoe.
Yeah. But
apparently
only other guy
he doesn't laugh.
who exists.
Yes.
Yeah, the fact that Don's like, I think there was some tragedy in his life. That's why he never laughs, obviously.
Bruh?
I think his laugh is fine. His laugh is fine.
Yeah, it's not unusual.
But that's why he doesn't laugh. So first we have to make him laugh. We have to tell a bunch of jokes.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Let me tell you a joke, Ethan. What happened after the man elephant and the lady elephant quarreled?
What happened?
The lady elephant packed her trunk and left. Get it?
I get it. I get it.
You're welcome.
I'm trying to be the sheriff in this situation. It's harder than I thought it was.
And so, and he every time he just has this horrid look on his face.
Like somebody just like stepped on his dog and didn't apologize.
Yeah.
So Fred and Velma do some kind of impersonation.
They're doing Laurel and Hardy.
Oh, ain't that convenient?
Yeah, I know. It's our next episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally just like, what? You dropped the piano out the window? I'm sorry, Oli. I didn't know you were under it.
So
Yeah, okay.
Shaggy and Daphne just straight up start laughing to try to get him to laugh. And that doesn't work either.
Yeah, just play the laughing game. Just let yourself go. And not working. Okay, I'm gonna count all three of those as one shenanigan. Like,
yes. But what happens
just
after that deserves its own shenanigan.
absolutely. Scooby has to do his Scooby Doodle. I love the Scooby Doodle. He's just doing a little dance. He's having fun. I don't know why we have to laugh at him.
That's not what the sheriff laughs at. The sheriff laughs because Shaggy throws a banana peel over his shoulder, Scooby slips on it, and crashes into the wall.
I want to know if this was planned. Unclear. But the sheriff does laugh, and he's got like an old guy laugh.
Yeah, I mean, he's like a generic old guy laugh. It's not bad, at least not as bad as Don thinks it is.
Yeah, Don is assuming that's why he never laughed. Just because of that. I think he's just a straight-laced kind of guy.
Yeah, doesn't have a lot of humor in his soul.
No. But now we get back to the spooky fog. Ooh. So we've rolled out the sheriff as the one who did the crazy laugh. Couldn't be him. Who else could it be? Well, there's no one else here.
No, there's not.
But it's dark, and we have to figure out what the heck's happening. Which is... I love that the sheriff points out there's no point in going out there. Like, you can't see anything. And so Fred and Velma are like, well, we're gonna go out there, we're gonna stand really close to each other and try to find some clues.
Yeah, and a taco sign almost falls on their heads.
That is some cartoons right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna call shenanigan on the fucking lasso that attacks them out of nowhere.
They barely avoid it, but like, what are you hoping to accomplish with that? At most, a lasso can get one person.
Yeah. Also, while they are gone, Don, Shaggy, and Scooby are hiding under a table, and a vulture comes into the sheriff's station.
And the Shaggy, Scooby, and Don are running with a table on their backs
away from the vulture, and they fall into the street because, of course, the table catches on the door, and they fall outside. I think that's at least one shenanigan.
I count it as one. If you want to do more than one, that's fine too.
Yeah, that's just one. Velma and Fred come across a black cat, and then Fred sees something in the distance. There's something moving. I'm gonna go get it. And somehow our scared gang...
They're in a haystack? Yeah.
That's fine. Also, I'm gonna call shenanigan on that. Like, what?
Yeah,
what,
for
what
sure.
Guys? What are
How
we doing?
How did you get there?
And they're looking for a bigger haystack. That's what they're doing in there, apparently.
Yeah, with your heads not poking out in any discernible way.
But we did find a clue, finally.
Yes.
Fred and Velma found some tire tracks. So the gang all piles into the mystery machine, and they're gonna go follow them. And they found a dead end. But where does this, like, weird rocky road lead to? That's the dead end of the tracks.
To the cemetery.
The Boot Hill Cemetery. Ooh. Ooh.
Ooh.
God, this part of the episode is just full shenaniganery. Like,
pure shenaniganery.
Not to say that we already weren't there, but like it just gets so much more from here on out.
The shenanigans are going through an exponential growth right now.
Absolutely. I don't know where it's gonna peak, but this is where it really gets going.
Yeah.
So we're going into the cemetery. It's nighttime. We're scared of owls because, we're scared of anything.
Yeah.
Poor Don Knotts has to he's our new part of the scared gang. Seriously.
Yeah. Well, I mean, most of the celebrity guests go with them anyway.
I feel like he's significantly more scared than most of the other celebrities have been.
I'd say so.
Maybe only rivaling Jonathan Winters.
Yeah.
But Jonathan could talk his way out of, he's like, I'm not scared. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, you go
No.
do it. You go do it for me. It's okay.
Don is not that good.
No, Don's not suave.
He's just a guy.
He's just a tiny little man who's terrified of everything. He's terrified of the trees that have nooses on them.
Why are they still there? We don't need them.
That's a good question. It's a very good question. Were they still hanging people in the 70s?
Technically, the last use of the guillotine was 1977.
Okay, so they were still hanging people in the 70s. Good to know.
Yeah.
Gross. Disgusting.
Yeah,
I don't like
gross.
it.
I don't like it either.
But apparently the Boot Hill gang was hung here on this tree at this cemetery. So finally, we're going to split up. We're going to look for some clues. And we're going to do some whistling if we find anything.
Yep.
Now, we've done a different split up here. I love it when we do a different type of split up.
It's Daphne and Scooby to start.
Yeah. And she has to bribe him with some Scooby snacks. Takes 3 Scooby snacks to get him to do anything.
Any number of ghosts could be there.
I mean, literally so many ghosts are there.
Yeah, for no reason.
None at all.
What was the perpetrator's visual effects budget for this?
That's the real question.
Because, I could see getting, some spooky laughter, maybe, 1 or 2 ghosts that go around, and the skeleton costume. But no, this person, not only were they a theater kid, they weren't a regular theater kid, they were tech theater. This person knew what they were doing.
Absolutely. This episode, I feel like, more than any other that we've had lately, has just, entirely lost the plot due to the amount of ghosts that we see within the next few minutes.
Yeah, I mean, up until this point, it had been a relatively good mystery because we hadn't really seen what had been going on. We were getting clues, but this is it just goes off the rails.
Yeah.
We'll literally go off the rails later, but figuratively it happens now.
Yeah. Then we get to Shaggy and Dawn, who, Dawn jumps into Shaggy's arms, terrified of, noises and everything. And then they're walking side by side, and it's like, oh no, there's something on me. I can't go. It's heavy. It's crushing me. And it's Shaggy's foot. That's a shenanigan.
Yes, it is. I also counted Dawn being scared of owls as a shenanigan.
Yes, I think so. And then we see a giant pit, or at least Dawn does. Shaggy's like, no, it's a shadow. There's nothing there. I don't know what you're talking about. It's fine. And then he walks straight into it. Shaggy. And then, of course, Dawn is gonna help him out. Shaggy pulls him into it.
I guess Shaggy's heavier than he is.
They're both tiny guys, but Shaggy's tall. So
Shaggy's tall and lanky. Don Knotts is short and lanky.
Yeah. So they both got stuck in a pit. I think that's another shenanigan.
Yeah, everything pit related is a shenanigan for sure.
Then Scooby and Daphne are looking at some shadows in the distance, oh no, what's that? Ah, and it's a fly that bites Scooby.
Yeah, a horsefly or something.
Yeah, I guess so. And then Scooby sees a rabbit, and they both get scared and run away from each other. What is happening?
I don't know.
What is happening? So that's another shenanigan, at least.
Yeah, and we cut to Shaggy and Dawn crawling on the ground.
Yeah, they think they've seen something. Dawn is sweating so much, he's trying to whistle, he can't. Shaggy's like, oh, it's an extinct monster in front of us. What is it? And then from Next to them comes Velma and Fred. We're like, what are you guys doing?
What did they think was happening there?
I'm like, this episode just makes me question so many things.
I don't know what's going on right now.
What were they trying to do with this one?
I don't know. But maybe Scooby has a clue because he's digging. He finds a spring in the ground.
I don't know how it relates to the mystery, I'm not gonna lie.
I don't think it is a clue.
Cool.
But either way, it is a shenanigan because he yanks the spring out of the ground, shot backwards in the air, hits his head on the headstone, and the garland falls over his neck.
That's pretty.
And the spring
that's pretty fun.
lands on top. So that's a shenanigan if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, I would also count the extinct monster weird little bit going on there because I don't know what's happening.
Neither do I.
So at that point, the whole gang was together. We go to like another weird commercial break moment where like now we've split up once again, and our scared gang now includes Dawn. And there's a skeleton man walking towards them.
Ooh.
And Dawn is running backwards. Scooby is running backwards. Shaggy's running forwards. And this guy is like, I don't even know if he notices them. He's like not acknowledging their existence whatsoever. He's just walking.
Yeah. So then Scooby hugs an obelisk and it just opens up a door?
Yeah. It like goes into the ground and then it opens up like the side of the mountain, I guess.
I don't know.
It's fine. I don't know, man. And now the skeleton's like, oh, they're onto me. I have to run away. And Fred runs after him and then trips before he can actually catch him.
I mean, yeah, he didn't even trip over anything. One of my least favorite tropes, actually, is when people trip over nothing.
I think he was attempting to just like go on top of the guy, but he went too soon.
Yeah, I guess.
And this is when we finally end up seeing some ghosts. Because their smart gang is going to follow the skeleton. Scared gang is getting the fuck out of Dodge.
Yeah, we get Space Kook laugh from a ghost with 3 eyes. We get a different laugh by, I guess, the ghost of Rapunzel? I don't know. She's got long hair. And then we have...
It's a lady ghost.
Andre the Giant or something. What?
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah. I don't know.
So, they went in 3 directions, and they're like, okay, we gotta go the other way. So that's a shenanigan.
Yes.
We finally saw some weird ghosts. What is going on here? Smart Gang goes into the cave, following the skeleton man, I presume.
Mm-hmm.
And then the scared gang follows them right afterwards. And then, what the fuck? When was there a drawbridge here?
Yeah, I didn't see that when the door opened up.
Because as soon as the entire gang is all in this weird cave, following the skeleton man, now a drawbridge has gone up, and we have closed that part of the cave. That was not in existence before. This is a shenanigan.
Yes.
I don't know if that's an animation error, or a plot error, or what have you.
I have no idea. But anyway, they're trapped.
Yeah, so I guess we're trapped in some caves. No one can hear them. We can't get out of here.
Scared by a bat.
But the fact that Fred's like, he won't hurt us unless he's a vampire bat. And then Daphne's like, oh, maybe they'll just vampire each other.
Daphne. Daphne. Girl.
I don't know what's happening in this episode. I've lost my mind, I think.
I think we both have. But Wrestler Ghost is back.
Yeah, Andre the Giant is here. He's right behind Scared Gang. He puts his hand on, like, Scooby. Or no, on Dawn. And Dawn's like, oh, Scooby, cut it out. Yeah, and then
the Giant shenanigans everywhere.
They run, and then they get sealed into a separate part of the cave. So we're separated.
Lovely.
And now Smart Gang. I can't even with this one.
They keep talking about stalactites and stalagmites.
Yeah, because they're going towards this part of a cave, and it looks like there's stalactites and stalagmites like in the cave. Ooh, it's just a cave formation. Don't worry about it, guys. Nothing to be scared of. And then it starts roaring,
It's
and
a fucking
apparently
dinosaur.
it's a dinosaur. I don't know how it suddenly we were looking at it into the cave, and then now it's just a whole ass brontosaurus in a bigger cave.
Hmm. But then Fred starts to put some stuff together.
Yeah, because it disappeared immediately.
Yeah.
And Fred's like, "Oh, I know this guy. This guy's a theater kid. He's doing some projections and some illusions.
Yes.
Don't worry about it, guys."
So now Shaggy, Don, and Scooby run into the Headless Horseman. Two of them, which, as far as I know, there's only one Headless Horseman, but...
Yeah, there's only one, unless Ichabod Crane is the other one now.
I thought yeah, he might be. You never know.
I don't know, man. I don't know how the story actually ends.
And then we get a skeleton driving a carriage.
Yeah.
With
they're just
non-ghost horses.
Yeah, they're just the more ghosts just keep going past them and going past them, but they just go into the walls and they disappear. And Don's like, "Oh, I get it. It's fake too. I get it. It's fake now."
Yeah.
Cool. We have one brain cell amongst the three of them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's at least one shenanigan of those two guys or three guys. But then the next thing is not a freaking illusion. There's just a whole ass boulder that comes straight at them.
Yeah. Luckily they dodge it, but then it makes a big hole in the ground.
Yeah. And of course, Scooby, you can tell by the animation that Scooby is about to fall in there.
Mm-hmm.
I love when you can see that.
Yeah, it was hard to disguise things with older animation like this, so...
Yeah, I just love it. So Shaggy's trying to help him out, and guess what? Both of them have fallen into this deep, dark hole, and hey, it's one of the scenes from, like, the intro.
Yep. Love
so we're
that.
separated from Don now.
Yeah. So we're trying to figure out a way to get out. And I guess there's a ledge with a rope ladder that comes down.
Yeah.
And Scooby's like, hell yeah, I'm getting the hell out of here.
Yeah.
And Shaggy's like, wait, don't. It's fake.
Yeah, it's a trick. Once again. Shenaniganery. And they're just like, "Oh no, they keep playing tricks on us. Can they stop that?" And we figured out something. Scooby is like started digging as he does to hide from things.
Mm-hmm.
But we found some rocks. So Shaggy's like, "Oh, we're gonna find a bunch of rocks and build a ladder, a bridge of some kind, a
pillar of some kind."
Yeah, to try to climb up to the ledge. How is this any easier than just trying to climb?
I guess you have better handholds with smaller rocks?
Maybe.
I don't know. I've lost the plot.
There is no plot! It's gone!
But I'm gonna count this whole ordeal as a shenanigan, because why would you go through the trouble of building a giant tower out of rocks?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Scooby has to climb the whole thing and jump over to the ledge, and he gets to the top, and then somebody takes a random rock out the middle, and they all fall down.
Just extreme Jenga.
Extreme! And that's when things go on the rails, actually, because we found some railroad tracks.
Yes. Scooby and Shaggy find a coal cart. Shaggy, I guess, accidentally pushes Scooby to get it started. But now I guess they're in a roller coaster because they're going all over the mine.
Yeah. Again, more scenes
cart.
From the intro.
They break the tracks, and now they're just sitting there. But Scooby has a chain around him somehow.
Apparently he got a rusty chain from falling out of the cart. I don't know.
Okay, whatever.
So yeah, they're gonna use this rusty chain. They're back where they started, maybe? Maybe not. Unclear.
But the chain lasso sequence that happens here, shenaniganery.
Absolutely. Like, Shaggy tries to do the lasso and then doesn't get anything, and he just falls forward. And then Scooby, like, spins and spins and spins, and he gets it onto the ledge. And now we gotta swing onto the ledge. Shaggy swings up. Scooby swings up. And then he catches Shaggy in his legs for some reason. And now the both of
Oh
them are
no.
back on the chain and fall somewhere. They're lost. They're so lost. I'm lost. Everything is lost. How many
But
shenanigans
Don's
is
here.
this?
I don't know. I don't know.
When was the last one that you counted?
The last one that I counted was the chain lasso
Okay.
shenanigan.
So I guess that's all one.
Yeah.
But yeah. But now, Dawn's coming this way, and Scooby's sitting on something that it's the ground is just like getting taller and taller underneath him, and suddenly there's a trap door, and Fred, Daphne, and Velma come out of it. That's another shenanigan.
Yeah.
What is happening, guys?
I don't know what's going on.
How does any of this relate?
I don't know. But we're walking around, still trying to find a way out.
Yeah. And then we've come to like the end of the cave, I guess. But Fred's like, wait, there's a door here actually, under some dust. So they push
Doesn't
the
really do
door
him any
open.
good because they're still underground. I don't know how much good it did.
Yeah, they're just in a different section of the cave with a bunch of spiders, and now we see the mastermind behind everything.
Skeleton Man with his tech theater expertise.
Literally, it's just like he's got a whole big thing of buttons it's the same as the Joker and Penguin and like episode where they had all of that stuff set up. Did he expect people to come searching in this particular cave?
I guess not, because he was clearly startled because Dawn sneezes, the Skeleton Man throws a smoke bomb, and he gets away.
I meant like why was he so prepared for people to come into this whole big thing? Like looking
I don't
for
know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I'm so lost.
But the cave starts falling apart because there's an earthquake, I guess.
All right, sure. I was gonna ask, is this the right part of the country for us to have an earthquake? But we don't even know where the fuck we are.
I don't know.
I don't know. So we all have to jump from one ledge to the other ledge. Dawn nearly falls into the crevice, and then Scooby is like, "Oh no, I don't want to jump. I don't think I can do it." And
he does eventually make it over by the skin of his teeth, and Daphne and Velma pull him out.
Yeah, help from the girls. And now we're chasing the Skeleton Man again. All of us. We're just chasing him. And suddenly he's on this like tube, and he's, I can't even word anything anymore.
I guess it's a big water pipe. It's a big water pipe, and he just unleashes whatever water was in there. But Don Knotts can't swim.
Nope, he cannot. So he's gonna drown until Scooby is like, "Hey, just chill with me. They're okay. They made it out. They had to swim upstream. They're okay." I do love Don Knotts panting with Scooby.
Yeah, that's great.
So we have to keep following this Skeleton Man still.
Jesus.
Also, apparently we're in a dead volcano.
I guess. I don't know how that's relevant, but okay.
Sure. But the Skeleton Man, he had a rope that he climbed all the way to the top to get out of this mountain, cave, whatever. But he cuts the rope before they can climb up there too. So, I mean, at least they're left with some rope.
Yeah, they have rope, and this, to me, does not make sense.
No.
Because they entrust the dog, the only member of the group without opposable thumbs, to climb.
Correct. Yep. Mm-hmm. But he's got claws. He can, grab with his claws. I don't know, man. Cats are good at climbing.
Yeah, dogs aren't.
Yeah, I know.
Their claws don't work like that.
I guess Scooby's a part cat. I don't know.
I
or mountain goat.
Something.
Yeah, so we get a whole sequence of him like climbing up here, nearly following, nearly dropping the rope, and then he gets up there and he's holding the rope for all of them to climb up. Apparently we had enough rope for this.
Yeah, I guess.
Surprising.
Mm.
So Fred goes up, and then everybody slowly goes up this rope. They're all panting, they're all shaking, they're all like, oh my god, I didn't think I could make it. And then finally it's Dawn's turn. Dawn is a shenanigan.
Yeah, because he turns into a statue. Like, he goes,
Well,
like,
at first
full
he's
rigor
like
mortis.
he's going like this way and that way. He's like, because they just tie it to his body.
Yeah, not even very tightly either.
Yeah, but then he goes like stiff as a rock.
And
We're like, why? It's so heavy.
it takes all of them to pull him up, which, like, how?
Bro, what?
I guarantee he's like 120 pounds soaking wet. There's no reason.
Yeah.
No reason that should happen.
So finally, we're out of this fucking cave. We're out of shenanigan territory, mostly. And
Mostly.
there's still some fog, but we can see a bit. We can see
Yeah.
the cattle rustling going on.
Dun dun dun.
Whoa! That's what this whole plot was about. The rustling cattle. It only took us 40 minutes to find that out.
I mean, it was hinted at the beginning of the episode, but
yeah, but it's like we didn't really get to like that part of it.
Yeah.
We didn't see any of the cattle rustling until now.
No, we didn't. No. But what happens next is a shenanigan to end all shenanigans, because they cause a stampede of these cattle.
First, they're like, oh, Don can just, like, shoot his gun and, like, spook these cattle, and that'll work. He doesn't have any bullets. Can't work.
No.
So, what are they gonna do? How are they gonna start this stampede?
They're gonna bark. Humans.
It starts by
barking.
accident.
Yes.
Because there's a frog, it spooks Scooby, so he barks at it, and then the cattle start moving. And Fred's like, oh, guys, we gotta bark. Time to bark. Everybody starts barking. Everybody's barking at the cattle. They're going. We have a stampede. And Skeleton Man hides underneath one of the trucks and is like, I surrender. Let me out of here. And we've caught him. That's the trap. Guess who it was?
Mm-hmm. It's the guy with the horns on his car from the beginning of the episode.
It's Gene Haltree, the only other named character besides the sheriff.
Yes.
The guy who literally complained about the cattle rustling in the beginning of the episode.
That's the worst part of this whole thing.
Like, if you'd kept your mouth shut, nobody would have even known about that.
Right. Why did you want people to investigate you? Why would you do that?
I don't know. This is a stupid man. And now Don puts on his little cop hat. He's like, ooh, you're coming with me. And Scooby's like, hey, it's my hero. And licks him. But we saved the day. We did it.
Yep, he's in jail. The gang takes off. But wait, it's a cop again. It's Don. They forgot Scooby. They forgot him.
I don't think I can be on your side this time.
No. How do you forget the most important member of the group? Your show is named after him.
I don't know. What's wrong with this? We forgot Scooby. Is it because he wanted to stay with Don Knotts?
That's what it seems to be.
Yeah. Also, we are missing. We should have been able to see like Scooby riding on the motorcycle with Don or something.
Yeah.
That would have been great.
Yeah. But that's where the episode ends. Charlie, what time is it?
It's terror time again. Back to the plot. This is the second and last appearance of Don Knotts. But unlike Guess Who's Not Coming to Dinner, his first episode, he refers to himself by his own fucking name instead of the ambiguity of another identity. He's not Homer Pipsqueak today. He's just
not today.
Don Knotts. Maybe an actor, most certainly a cop for some reason.
I guess. Why not?
Why not? I guess. Sure.
This episode features uncredited monster designs by Alex Toth. So this guy, Alex Toth, he's got a lot of work under his belt. He did a lot for Hanna-Barbera. Like, he did the Space Ghost. He did the original Fantastic Four cartoon from way back when. Yeah, so a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
Anyway.
and he's got end-credited stuff in the new Scooby-Doo movies. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so for cultural references, here's where we get to all the stuff going on here today. We got several homages to the Andy Griffith Show. The town name Juneberry plays off the town name of Mayberry. Don Knotts played police officer Barney Fife. And Sheriff Dandy Griffith is based off of Andy Griffith, who played Sheriff Andy Taylor. Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm. Oddly, Juneberry is in the western states while Mayberry is in North Carolina, so complete opposite sides of the country.
Oh, interesting. Gene Autry is likely a play on the famous western actor and cowboy Gene Autry.
And Fred and Velma do an impersonation of Laurel and Hardy when they try to get the sheriff to laugh, who show up in the next episode, The Ghost of Bigfoot.
Yeah! Oh, I can't wait for Laurel and Hardy.
I can't either. They might have beat this episode if I know Laurel and Hardy, but we'll see.
I just remember, really liking... Oh god. Now I'm forgetting who's who. The tall skinny gun. That's Laurel. Right. Yes.
I think so. I don't remember.
The one who does the shenanigans. The dumb one.
But, Charlie, what would you rate this episode out of 5 Scooby Snacks?
See, as opposed to the previous Don Knotts episode that has, so many shenanigans.
Yeah.
At least it felt like we're, locked in and there's a murder mystery. As opposed to this where it's just what is happening, guys? We've very much lost the plot. But I still enjoy it. So, I'm gonna give it a 3.
Alright, that makes my math easy. I was also gonna say 3.
Wow, so much math.
Wow. Whose side are we on, Charlie?
Do we want to be on the side of a cop? Or...
That's hard. That's hard.
Or do we think that Don Knotts is also putting on an act this whole episode? Maybe, secretly, he's always been Homer Pipsqueak.
Well, because, they recognize him as Don Knotts the actor. So, I don't know.
And he's he doesn't acknowledge that he met them before, ever, if he ever did.
Right. Yeah. Which leads me to believe that the previous episode, he was playing Homer Pipsqueak.
Yeah. Yeah, it's unclear. But like I said, I'm not on the side of the gang. Maybe I'm on the side of Scooby and Don Knotts as besties. They're just both of them.
Yeah.
They're the new besties. They should have their own show together.
All right. I don't have anything better to refute that. Charlie, we have a new first place.
Is it this episode?
By one shenanigan. 26 shenanigans is the number to beat now.
Holy shit, this episode. I mean, I'm not fully surprised. Okay. This is our most shenaniganery that we've ever had, as we totally lost the plot entirely.
And when there's no plot, the shenanigans abound.
Yeah. And then the last episode is our least, still.
Yeah, quite the whiplash in terms of shenaniganery, but...
Seriously. Just when we went super silly. So much silly.
Either way, we've got it. It's in there.
Good job, us.
Woo.
Oh, well, I guess that's that episode of the new Scooby-Doo movies. Oh, y'all, we're gonna go split up and look for clues for our next mystery. Bye!
Bye.
You can follow this podcast socials at Mysteries in the Machine Pod on Instagram. You can send a message to our email, mysteriesinthemachinepod@gmail.com. Be sure to give us a rating, a review, or let your friends and followers know how much you love the podcast. That really helps. You can follow me, Charlie, at GreenPixie12 on most platforms. I also have an art Instagram at GreenPixieDraws.
You can find me, Ethan, on Instagram and Threads at ethan.t.hewlin. Our music was written and produced by Jason Hilton. You can find him at Negative Selections on Instagram.
They're hungry. They're starving teenagers who are once again lost on the highway in Nowhere Town, USA.
Frederick Jonathan Jones. Why?
This is his new name, Frederick Jonathan Jones.
I don't know if Fred actually has a middle name. That's just the first one that came to my head.
Oh my god. There you go. That's now his canonical middle name.
Jonathan.
Frederick Jonathan Winters Jones.
That's beautiful. I love that.
You're welcome.